cost without limiting you. Cricket respects you and your wallet like nobody else with $35 a month unlimited talk, text, and U.S. long distance. There are no contracts to sign or overages on America's most affordable 3G network. Just call 1-800-353-6658. Click mycricket.com or come into a Cricket store today and get all this for just $35 a month. Isn't it time you and your wallet got a little... Come in today for a new web-capable phone starting at $49.99. Just call, click, or stop by. Get respect for your wallet. Respect for you.
Find official government information online. Search for jobs, student loans, Social Security, and other benefits. It's where the government comes together. USA.gov.
ABC2's the most accurate, isn't it, Mr. Lewis? Play the 2-degree guarantee at abc2news.com for your chance to win Norm. He's a bobblehead.
Strong storms later in the day from Des Moines to Madison, Wisconsin, and South Texas gets some much-needed rain.
A wet 91 in New Orleans and 97 in Dallas, a high of 83 in both Chicago and Indianapolis, and 84 in the Twin Cities. 90s from Albuquerque to Boise and 80 in Seattle, a mild 75 in Boston, 83 in New York, and 93 in Miami.
It feels like we've gone from giving you a pet story at the end of every half hour to now a wedding story, so here's another one. When they vowed to take the plunge, they really meant it.
Apparently, a soon-to-be-married couple were drenched from head to toe after hitting a water park in Idaho in their wedding day duds. The bride didn't seem to mind soaking her gown on the water slide as the photographers snapped pictures for their wedding album.
I've actually heard of this trend. It's
really
part of something called Trash the Dress that actually is a borrowed dress, not the one she'll wear when she says I do next month. And I've seen a lot of brides actually will take it, like jump into in their real dress so they can have photographs of them sort of.
Those dresses are thousands of dollars. I shudder to think of the cost.
I don't think this is going to get passed down.
It's probably not silk either. Yeah. That would be difficult to clean.
We'll be right back with more World News Now.
World News Now weather brought to you by Liberator Medical Supply.
I was devastated. I had to reuse catheters for the rest of my life.
Holly was forced to reuse catheters. Her health benefits didn't cover her for a new sterile catheter every time she had to cath.
I was so sick of boiling and drying and reusing, old catheters. Plus, I was getting urinary tract infections. Then my mom called. She read about Liberator Medical Supply. Well, I was nervous about calling strangers, but, these strangers, they quickly became my friends. Now I was qualified for a new sterile catheter every time I had to cath.
A new Medicare ruling now qualifies you for a new sterile catheter every time you cath. Call now, 800-790-9570, 800-790-9570.
My advice to everyone who has to reuse catheters, call Liberator. This call will change your life too.
Get 20% more cash for your broken, unwanted, or mismatched gold jewelry. Cash for Gold, the largest volume consumer gold buyer in the USA, is on an extended buying spree. Prices are still at all-time highs, and we still can't keep up with demand. So we've raised our goal $100 million and extended our deadline. Now we're out to buy $200 million in gold by the end of summer, September 30th. Send us any unwanted, broken, or mismatched gold jewelry right now. Call for a free prepaid envelope. Fill it with the items you want to sell, send it to our secure processing center, and get ready to count your cash. And to meet our new $200 million goal, we've increased our cash payout by 20%. Cash for Gold owns its own refinery. There's no middleman, just more cash for you. And now we're paying even 20% more cash. Call before the gold rush ends September 30th.
Call 1-800-930-7804 or visit cash4gold.com.
When morning comes in the middle of the night, it affects your entire day. To get a good night's sleep, try 2-layer Ambient CR. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep. And unlike other sleep aids, a second dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. When taking Ambient CR, don't drive or operate machinery. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with memory loss for the event, as well as abnormal behaviors such as being more outgoing or aggressive than normal, confusion, agitation, and hallucinations may occur. Don't take it with alcohol as it may increase these behaviors. Allergic reactions such as shortness of breath, swelling of your tongue or throat may occur and in rare cases may be fatal. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. In patients with depression, worsening of depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Wake up ready for your day. Ask your healthcare provider for 2-layer Ambient CR.
It's an addiction, plain and simple. We don't snort it, we don't smoke it, we inject it.
We are truly addicted.
Now is the time to end this addiction.
I'm addicted to it, and you are too.
America is addicted.
Sure, they want to keep us addicted to oil.
We pay just about any price for it, can't get enough of it, and if our supply was ever threatened by terrorists, America would come to a virtual standstill. Charlie Gibson investigates the truth about oil over a barrel, tonight at 10 on ABC.
It began 10 years ago and became an international sensation. Now the original phenomenon is back.
Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Regis Philbin hosts Millionaire for an 11-night primetime event starting Sunday, August 9th on ABC.
July is turning out to be the deadliest month for U.S. troops in Afghanistan ever. 35 American troops have been killed, 23 of them by improvised explosive devices or IEDs.
And that is why the U.S. military is looking for ways to fight back. Our Bob Woodruff reports from Afghanistan.
You fill up full of 20 or 30 pounds of HME, bulk explosive.
This could be the difference between life and death.
I lost my flashlight. I want to reach down and grab the flashlight. I just blew myself up.
These troops are being trained to protect themselves, to identify possible bombs, watch out for hidden tripwires. This is Task Force Paladin.
Compared to last year, the number of IEDs have gone up, and so have the casualties. Just as the enemy has increased his intensity, we've also increased our intensity to try and defeat these devices, and we've had some success.
Make your mistakes here, not outside.
Unlike Iraq, Afghanistan has very few paved roads. IEDs can be buried easily. Even when these bombs don't kill or maim, they slow down military operations here, making roads too dangerous to deliver weapons and supplies.
So the indicator here is...
So to reduce the danger, military trainers teach troops to look for clues. Fake rocks, bullet casings, car trunks weighed down by explosives, detonators hidden behind license plates.
Has a pressure plate on the front of the car. This is where the driver would hit a coalition vehicle and ignite the explosives in the back of the car.
So this would be somebody committing suicide?
Yes, sir.
That completes the circuit.
The task force has compiled a collection of every kind of bomb they've found to make troops aware of what they may be up against.
Put this back on top of it, and that's your improvised IED.
And they are improving the devices to detect them. Robots check for explosives buried in the ground or hidden in cars. If the IED cannot be disarmed, it is blown up. And there are new advanced tools, including jamming devices that prevent certain kinds of IEDs from exploding at all. But all this technology is only as good as the young soldiers trained to use it.
We always try to stay one step ahead of the enemy.
Take a look at the rocks.
So far this year, the U.S. has discovered nearly 3,200 IEDs here. They are determined to find the rest. Bob Woodruff, ABC News, Bagram Air Base, Afghanistan.
And one of the hard things about the IEDs in Afghanistan...
Bagram Air Base, Afghanistan.
And one of the hard things about the IEDs in Afghanistan versus Iraq is that they're a lot more primitive in the sense that they don't have a lot of the availabilities like mortars and munitions. So what they are looking towards now are things like fertilizers and fuel and less effective.
You can make them out of anything, really.
Big.
And the other challenge, of course, is when I was in Iraq, they have these Stryker vehicles, which are supposed to be able to withstand IEDs. But the problem is in Afghanistan, the terrain is such that they're not able to use these these very armored vehicles. And so that's another challenge. A lot of troops are dying.
Very challenging fight. All right, when we come back, what a difference a year makes. Remembering the day Sarah Palin was introduced to all of America.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Season after season, our national forests give us beauty to behold, places to play, clean water.
Speaking of cooking, think of your heart. I'm Mon, short for monounsaturated fat.
And I'm polyunsaturated fat. We're the Better Fat Sisters. We lower your risk of heart disease.
Give up those bad fat foods and hang with us.
Come see us online.
The Better Fat Sisters. Be kinder to your heart.
Attention parents and grandparents of young children. Gerber Life is accepting applications for their affordable Grow-Up Plan. The Grow-Up Plan gives your child $10,000 in whole life insurance protection now, then doubles automatically to $20,000 later at no extra cost. Free information will be sent to parents and grandparents who call now. Help give your child a head start for just pennies a day. Don't wait. Call now for free information.
Call 1-800-986-3114. Call now.
ABC2 News on your iPhone. Available at the iTunes App Store now. Be the first to know. Forecasts, video clips, breaking news with just a touch. Download the ABC2 News app for free. Search WMAR only on iTunes.
A year ago, John McCain lifted her from relative obscurity to the Republican presidential ticket. Today, a new ABC News poll shows that her favorability rating has plunged to just 40%.
How things have changed. Here from the ABC News Vault, August 29th, 2008, the day Sarah Palin was introduced on the national stage.
Guerrilla warfare and politics. The element of surprise can make a huge difference. Today, the McCain campaign built its surprise by saying nothing at all.
Pawlenty, Romney, Ridge.
Name after name dropped off the list. By mid-morning, speculation reached a fever pitch.
A major announcement from the McCain campaign.
This, the morning after Obama's triumphal speech in Denver. Who would have predicted McCain could so completely change the subject? Who would have predicted her?
She's not from these parts and she's not from Washington. But when you get to know her, not from Washington. But when you get to know her, you're going to be as impressed as I am. She's got the grit, integrity, good sense, and fierce devotion to the common good that is exactly what we need in Washington today.
Sarah Palin, Alaska's freshman governor. Until this moment, few in this crowd had ever heard her name before.
Senator, I am honored to be chosen as your running mate.
Sarah Palin's name was not on the expected short list of candidates McCain was thought to be considering, and it's safe to say that many of the 15,000 people gathered here were surprised by his choice. Surprised, but not necessarily disappointed.
I don't think anybody expected this today. I think there was a lot of talk that it was going to be sort of a safe, in some regards, boring choice, and he underlined his maverick status with this pick directly.
Sarah Palin is anything but boring. A small-town mayor from a remote corner of Alaska. 2 years ago, she trounced an incumbent, becoming the state's first woman governor. Alaska Magazine recently profiled her as America's hottest governor. She's a former beauty queen who's also a lifelong member of the National Rifle Association. Alaskan through and through. Her father was a trapper, her husband a championship snowmobiler.
The main thing about Sarah Palin is that she's down to earth. Sold the state jet on eBay. She drives herself. She got rid of the household staff in the governor's mansion and told the children that they were not going to get anything other than their usual macaroni and cheese.
Palin is a mother of 5. Track, Piper, Bristol, Willow, and Trig. 4 of them were on stage with her today. The oldest, Track, is about to be deployed to Iraq. And the youngest, Trig Van Palin, born in April, has Down syndrome. Her refusal to consider abortion has made her a darling of the Christian right.
And I don't think John McCain's going to have to worry about anymore about motivating those people to vote on Election Day.
I think McCain has made a brilliant move, folks.
Today, Rush Limbaugh, for one, sounded mighty impressed.
She is a maverick pick. She is a total maverick. We're the ones that have the babe on the ticket.
Barack Obama was gracious. Today he called to wish her good luck, but not too much luck.
I congratulate her and look forward to a vigorous debate.
But Obama's campaign spokesman was sharper-edged. Today, John McCain put the former mayor of a town of 9,000 with zero foreign policy experience a heartbeat away from the presidency, said Bill Burton, as though conceding McCain had already won.
Well, I've appreciated the 13 years in elected office that I've had to give me some good experience and to get ready for this job. It's been good experience.
Palin supports the idea of drilling in Alaskan wilderness areas, but she has battled the oil companies and convinced the state legislature to give every Alaskan a $1,200 energy rebate. Her approval rating in Alaska stands at 80%.
I think it's absolutely fabulous. She looks like a very intelligent woman, and the glass ceiling, I just love it. She's breaking it. It's fantastic.
That's the other reason McCain chose Palin, not just her potential to fire up conservatives, there's also her potential appeal to women.
This is perfect.
Which she herself alluded to.
Hillary left 18 million cracks in the highest, hardest glass ceiling in America. But it turns out the women of America aren't finished yet, and we can shatter that glass ceiling once and for all.
By all accounts, this was a shotgun wedding, a decision McCain made just yesterday after finally sitting down with her face-to-face. There's risk here. No one can safely predict how well her skills will translate on the national stage. She's such a dark horse, nobody's even bothered to do any national polls of a McCain matchup with her. But now, the McCain campaign is just focused on introducing her to America, a courtship that began with a splash today. I'm David Wright for Nightline in Dayton, Ohio.
So I guess she went from something like 80% approval rating in Alaska to now 40% nationally.
But she's one of those that you can't predict, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can't, she's so polarizing, and everyone has an opinion about her, but the people that love her really, really love her.
Mm-hmm. Well, coming up next, an emotional goodbye here in New York City. Longtime TV news anchor Walter Cronkite was remembered at a private memorial service at a Midtown church.
Friends and family told stories about his private side, his love of sailing, of music, of his work, and of his family. A public memorial will be held in the coming weeks. Walter Cronkite will be buried in Missouri next to his wife Betsy. He was 92. We'll be right back.
If you think a clean windshield is too much of a stretch, if you think a clean windshield is just out of reach, you need the Windshield Wonder. The Windshield Wonder makes cleaning windshields, side and rear windows, even hard-to-reach interior glass, faster and easier than ever before. The Windshield Wonder combines a microfiber cleaning bonnet with an ergonomic handle and a unique pivoting head to make windshield cleaning fast and easy. So easy you don't even need glass cleaner. That's right, the Windshield Wonder cleans and shines glass with plain tap water. Amazing!
Oh, no question. When you detail a car, the inside windshield is always the toughest part. But now that we're using the Windshield Wonder, it's the easiest part.
The Windshield Wonder is perfect for wiping away moisture and condensation too, for better visibility and safer driving. But that's not all. Take the Windshield Wonder inside to clean mirrors, windows, and more. Windshield Wonder inside to clean mirrors, windows, and more. Dust dining tables and buffets without bending and reaching. Keep shower doors shining like new. And that hard-to-clean top of the fridge? The Windshield Wonder makes it a cinch to reach every inch. And when you're through, just wash the bonnets and they're good as new.
I was spending a lot of money on disposable dusting sheets, but with the Windshield Wonder, I can wash and reuse the bonnets. So I'm saving time and I'm saving money.
Your Windshield Wonder order includes the handle, 2 microfiber bonnets, a microfiber towel, a spray bottle, even a handy storage pouch. Everything you see here, a $20 value for only $10. But wait, call now, and as an added bonus, we'll double your order. Just pay separate shipping and handling. That's 2 complete Windshield Wonder kits, one for the car and one for almost every surface in your home. A $40 value for only $10. So don't delay. Order the Windshield Wonder today.
To order by credit card, call 1-800-973-9035. You'll get a complete second set as a bonus with today's orders. So call 1-800-973-9035. That's 1-800-973-9035.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
World News Now delivers your morning papers.
That's right. It is time for your morning papers. And don't you like this, Stephanie? We come into the newsroom. More cash
this
way.
feels a little too real to me.
Okay, so this is an interesting story. It's out of Tokyo, and I have to say I don't think that this one would work in New York. And the premise behind it is that they want employees to check themselves out, and by check themselves out, I mean if their smile is nice enough to start the day. So what you're looking at right now, this is a computer system that helps employees check their smiles before heading out to face customers. And the logic here is that they say people are so agitated and angry on their way to work, a happy face can really go a long way. So you come in, you smile, and if it's not rated high enough, you got to keep trying.
That seems like a very draconian way to make somebody
In New
smile.
York, they would bust that.
Like a very draconian way to make somebody
In New
smile.
York, they would bust that machine. They would break it, bust it, kick it, it'd be gone.
I certainly would. I wouldn't want my smile measured, especially at this time of the morning. The next story is kind of fun. A toupee versus roller coaster reads the headline from the Charlotte Observer, because apparently there was a commercial that showed a man with a toupee coming off, and so a man with a real toupee decided to go on the roller coaster and prove that his toupee would stay on, and indeed it did.
From toupees to the polka, it is time for your Friday polka.
This week at Chauffeur's Furniture, the price on the floor is the price at your door. Come in and save up to 50% on fabulous name brand furniture. Then whatever furniture and accessories you buy, Chauffeur's will give you a discount that's equal to your sales tax and won't charge for delivery. Plus, you'll pay no interest for 1 full year. Come to Chauffeur's and save up to 50% with no sales tax and no charge for delivery. Chauffeur's Furniture. If you can dream it, we can make it happen.
It's happening all over. People are turning to a unique wireless company, one that limits your cost without limiting you. Cricket respects you and your wallet like nobody else with $35 a month unlimited talk, text, and U.S. long distance. There are no contracts to sign or overages on America's most affordable 3G network. Just call 1-800-353-6658. Click mycricket.com or come into a Cricket store today and get all this for just $35 a month. Isn't it time you and your wallet got a little... Come in today for a new web-capable phone starting at $49.99. Just call, click, or stop by. Get respect for your wallet. Respect for you.
Alcohol.
Kills more kids.
More kids than all illegal drugs.
All illegal drugs.
Combined.
Baltimore's most accurate forecast, certified by Weather Rate, only on ABC2.
War of words. Critics pounce on President Obama's comments following the arrest of Harvard professor Henry Gates. Even the arresting officer is getting in a few jabs.
I think he's way off base.
Then, corruption crackdown, the 2-year federal investigation, and the stunning arrests involving politicians and rabbis.
New Jersey's corruption problem is one of the worst, if not the worst, in the nation.
And Starbucks is branching out. How would you like a beer instead of that latte? It's Friday, July 24th.
From ABC News, this is World News Now.
You probably have heard something about this whole Starbucks branching out by now, and more or less they're saying some of their stores, which won't be called Starbucks, will have beer and wine.
Ooh, really?
Oh, you like it. See, I'm a purist.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Coffee in and of itself is enough.
Well, it's a coffee bar.
Yeah. Staying true to the definition now.
Exactly. Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephanie Syen for Jeremy Hubbard this morning.
And I'm Vanita Nye. Well, President Obama may want to keep the nation's focus on health care reform, but his comments about race are generating some buzz right now.
The president says he's surprised by the controversy. More on that in a moment. But first, Dan Harris on the reignited debate over race relations.
Sergeant James Crowley, the white career cop who arrested the eminent black scholar for disturbing the peace in his own home, took on both Henry Louis Gates and his friend, the President of the United States, in this interview with WBZ Radio.
I think he's way off base, wading into a local issue without knowing all the facts, as he himself stated before he made that comment.
The Cambridge police acted stupidly in arresting somebody when there was already proof that they were in their own home.
Sergeant Crowley said he is not the one who should apologize.
There was a lot of yelling. There was references to my mother. Mr. Gates was given plenty of opportunity to stop what he was doing. He didn't. He acted very irrational, and he controlled the outcome of that event.
With Sergeant Crowley coming under fire from the president and from Gates, seen here on CNN.
This man clearly was a rogue policeman.
Crowley's colleagues and his boss rushed to his defense.
I believe that Sergeant Crowley acted in a way that is consistent with his training. I do not believe his actions in any way were racially motivated.
The head of a nearby police academy says Sergeant Crowley was handpicked by a black police official to teach a class on racial profiling.
Hi.
All day, the airwaves across the country were aflame with this story.
I agree with the president saying that the cop did act stupidly.
The head of the National Association of Black Law Enforcement Officers said Mr. Obama should have chosen his words better, but his underlying point was crucial.
The institution of policing is and always has been inherently biased against people of color and low income. And you must accept that as a fact.
But recriminations drowned out any measured discussion of race and justice.
We need to have racial dialogue in our society, and eruptions like this tend to come along because we don't talk about race that much.
As Henry Louis Gates said himself just recently, the only people in this country living in a post-racial America right now may be the members of the Obama family in the White House. Dan Harris, ABC News, Cambridge, Massachusetts.
President Obama is standing by the remarks that set off that debate. He tells ABC's Terry Moran that he's surprised by the reaction to what he called a pretty straightforward commentary.
Do you regret saying that the Cambridge police acted stupidly?
I think that it doesn't make sense, with all the problems that we have out there, to arrest a guy in his own home if he's not causing a serious disturbance. From what I can tell, the sergeant who was involved is an outstanding police officer, but my suspicion is probably that it would have been better if cooler heads had prevailed.
The president says he has extraordinary respect for the difficult job police officers do, but he didn't think it was necessary to handcuff a middle-aged man who uses a cane.
Well, the president switches his focus to education reform today. He's announcing a new multi-billion-dollar fund to encourage states to overhaul their schools. The president wants to toughen academic standards and find better ways to recruit and keep effective teachers. Education Secretary Arne Duncan spoke exclusively to ABC News about the new priorities.
This is not about winners and losers. This is about challenging the status quo as a country, getting dramatically better, and giving every child in this country the chance they desperately need to have a great quality education.
Duncan says he knows not everyone will benefit, but his plan is to reward innovation to inspire the rest. And be sure to tune to Good Morning America to see much more of our exclusive interview with Secretary Duncan.
U.S. officials say Osama bin Laden's second oldest son may have been killed in Pakistan. Saad bin Laden is believed to have been killed in a U.S. drone attack earlier this year. The younger bin Laden was suspected of being involved in a 2003 bombing attack in Saudi Arabia. Still, officials say Saad bin Laden was a small player with a big name.
This weekend, Alaska's Sarah Palin leaves the office of governor behind, along with some of her popularity. According to the latest ABC News poll, only 40% of Americans have a favorable view of Palin, down from 58% last November, 53% unfavorable. But among Republicans, Palin remains strong with 70% approval. She steps down on Sunday, 18 months before the end of her term.
And I'm sure we'll be seeing much more of her. Here is your Friday forecast. More scattered showers and thunderstorms in the northeast with the heaviest rain in Maine and New Hampshire. Scattered showers and thunderstorms also from Virginia to Florida and along the Gulf Coast. Severe weather from Omaha to Green Bay, Wisconsin.
A high of 75 in Boston and 83 in New York. It's 91 in St. Louis, 81 in Detroit, and 80 in Fargo. Mostly in the 90s from Albuquerque to Boise, which is cooler for Boise, surprisingly, 86 in Portland and 80 in Seattle.
Well, it was a picture-perfect day for the Chicago White Sox, making history in front of a hometown crowd.
Everybody's talking about it. Sox pitcher Mark Burley threw a perfect game, facing off against 27 batters. This is only the 18th perfect game ever. The Tampa Bay Rays almost ruined it for Burley in the ninth inning, but Sox center fielder Dwayne Wise came to the rescue.
You may remember Burley pitched a no-hitter 2 years ago. This time, as he topped himself, he got a congratulatory call from the Sox most famous fan, President Obama.
Now, I have to say, I was in the makeup room with 4 girls, and we were talking about this story, and it took all 4 of us to piece together what a perfect game must mean.
Well, apparently it's a pretty big deal because there haven't been many in history. And the whole thing is that he couldn't have done it without the other guy who caught the ball. Yeah. That is really the play. That is the play of the day.
And that's certainly what you've been seeing on all the highlight reels. And yeah, great, just a great game overall. We'll be right back with more world news now.
World News Now weather brought to you by Advil PM.
I'm going to do another one of my sleep studies. Advil PM or Tylenol PM. Here we go. Middle of the night. Awake again? Asleep. With Advil PM, she's spending less time lying awake with aches and pains and more time asleep. You should switch to Advil PM. Maybe you should switch too. Advil PM. The difference is a better night's sleep.
Through the years, many things pass from father to son, like Aqua Velva Aftershave. Smells great, cools, firms, and tones. Cool. Aqua Velva, men get it.
Attention, all Medicare beneficiaries who need assistance getting around their homes. There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you. Stay tuned for this important Medicare benefit information and free scooter guarantee. Imagine one scooter or power chair that could improve your mobility and your life. One Medicare benefit that, with private insurance, may entitle you to pay little to nothing to own it. One company that can make it all happen.
Great news. Your power chair will be paid in full.
The Scooter Store. Why should you call the Scooter Store today? Because their mobility experts are also Medicare experts. And that means the Scooter Store is your best shot at qualifying for a scooter that costs you little to nothing.
Hi, I'm Doug Harrison. At the Scooter Store, 97% of our Medicare customers paid little to nothing out of pocket. How do we do it? We know what it takes to get you your power chair or scooter. It's our strength, it's our mission, and we back it up with the Scooter Store guarantee. If we qualify you and Medicare denies your claim for a new power chair or scooter, I'll give it to you absolutely free.
I paid into Medicare all my life, and when I needed it, the benefit was there for me. The Scooter Store made it so easy.
I didn't pay a penny out of pocket for my power chair. Medicare and my insurance covered it all.
The Scooter Store got me back out into the world again, and they're some of the nicest people you'll ever talk to.
There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you.
Call the Scooter Store for free information today.
Call 1-800-381-3535 for your free information from the Scooter Store, and we'll also send you this pocket-sized lighted magnifier as our gift. Absolutely free, just for calling. There's no obligation, so call the Scooter Store today at 1-800-381-3535.
It can happen anywhere. That itch you can't scratch, embarrassing odor, you don't feel like yourself.
Vagisil medicated wipes relieves itch, odor, even cleanses. Fast. Be the woman you want to be 100% of the time. Vagisil.
Tonight, Charlie Gibson investigates what we're all addicted to. The truth about oil at 10.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Well, New Jersey's bad rap just got a whole lot worse. Federal agents arrested 44 people there yesterday after a 2-year corruption investigation that even they found breathtaking.
An inquiry into money laundering involving Jewish charities led to a sweeping network of political bribes and influence peddling. In this morning's American Landscape, coverage from our New York station, WABC.
Now, Eyewitness News at 11.
It is about crime, corruption, it is about arrogance, it is about a shocking betrayal of the public trust.
It is a story that has all the elements of a good drama: politics, religion, and money. But the allegations are real. Local leaders, the targets of a widespread corruption sweep.
Jen Maxfield is at the federal courthouse in Newark with much more in the investigation. Jen.
Liz, all of the defendants have pleaded not guilty, and most of them are out on bail tonight, back home in the communities investigators say they betrayed. The mayor of Hoboken, Peter Camerano, walks out of federal court today, in office for 3 weeks and already charged with a felony. The man hiding behind his jacket is another prominent politician, Assemblyman Daniel Van Pelt from Ocean County.
You're innocent until proven guilty.
Secaucus Mayor Dennis Elwell leaves court without saying a word, and so does Deputy Jersey City Mayor Leona Baldini. She and 28 others are charged with accepting a total of $650,000 in bribes.
This case uncovered a web of corruption that spanned the states.
Federal investigators used a cooperating witness posing as a real estate developer to uncover the alleged corruption. The witness is identified as Solomon Dweck, who was himself charged with defrauding a major bank out of $25 million. Investigators say the power of their case, the largest corruption case in New Jersey history, rests in the evidence.
The case is going to rise and fall on those taped conversations and that audio and video surveillance.
Federal officials say Camerano ultimately accepted $25,000 in cash bribes, $10,000 of it just last Thursday.
It appeared that they were ready, willing, and able to engage with him in a corrupt way.
Investigators say the same cooperating witness was also instrumental in bringing down an international money laundering ring. $3 million in total was reportedly laundered through the network that stretched from Israel to Brooklyn Brooklyn to Deal, New Jersey. 5 rabbis are among those under arrest, charged with using charities as fronts to disguise their illegal activities. In a bizarre twist, one of the money laundering defendants is charged with trying to arrange the sale of a kidney. This corruption probe has already resulted in one high-level resignation. Joseph Doria, a member of Governor Corzine's cabinet, stepped down from his community affairs post this afternoon. He has not been charged but is under investigation, and it is worth noting that this entire investigation continues, and there could be more arrests. We are live outside Federal Courthouse in Newark, New Jersey. I'm Jen Maxfield, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
As we mentioned, the scope of this investigation is widespread and even stretches into Brooklyn, where several rabbis are accused of helping launder millions of dollars. After a series of raids today throughout the borough, federal agents arrested 12 members of a Syrian Jewish enclave. Security there at several synagogues was very tight, and members were simply shocked by the allegation.
My brother told me he saw him getting in the car, that he might be involved in some kind of scam. I just hope he clears his name.
Well, a synagogue in the town of Deal, New Jersey was also raided by federal investigators this morning, and they took up boxes of materials.
At the root of it all, money. That, according to prosecutors who say the corruption investigation brought down several extensive international money laundering rings, a web of suspects who allegedly planned elaborate schemes to hide the cash. We had Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett follow the money trail. NJ.
And Jeff, that trail leads through 2 states and halfway around the world before the informant went undercover, brokering deals with public officials. Prosecutors say he blew the lid off a massive global money laundering network.
The arrests were part of an elaborate government sting operation. Prosecutors say the public officials had no idea they were making deals with an undercover FBI informant.
It is about crime, corruption, it is about arrogance, it is about a shocking betrayal of the public trust.
Investigators say the informant first exposed a network of rabbis who allegedly laundered huge amounts of money through a network of charities in Israel and Brooklyn and the Jersey Shore for criminals around the world.
They used purported charities, entities supposedly set up to do good works, as vehicles for laundering millions of dollars in illicit funds.
Experts say it is the kind of crime that is often difficult to detect. David Shankin represents banks in money laundering investigations.
So the reason people launder money is to be able to use the proceeds or the profits of their illicit activity and not have it traced back to them.
One of the suspects is even accused of trafficking in human organs.
His business was to entice vulnerable people to give up a kidney for $10,000, which he in turn would turn around and sell for $160,000.
To be clear, the money laundering investigation and the public corruption investigation are the work of the same informant, but are otherwise unrelated. The rabbis, some of them, were ordered held on up to $3 million bail tonight.
It is just such an unbelievable story, and these people were really flagrant about it in the sense that they were meeting in diners and parking lots and bathrooms.
Like The Sopranos.
Yeah.
What's so striking to me is that some of these politicians campaigned on anti-corruption platforms, and of course rabbis, men of God, if of course all these charges turn out to be true.
We're going to hear so much more about this story, and of course we've got much more news coming up. Stick around.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
It's happening all over. People are turning to a unique wireless company, one that limits your cost without limiting you. Cricket respects you and your wallet like nobody else with $35 a month unlimited talk, text, and U.S. long distance. There are no contracts to sign or overages on America's most affordable 3G network. Just call 1-800-353-6658. Click mycricket.com or come into a Cricket store today and get all this for just $35 a month. Isn't it time you and your wallet got a little... Come in today for a new web-capable phone starting at $49.99. Just call, click, or stop by. Get respect for your wallet. Respect for you.
This morning, it's a mad hot island party in the park when white hot Grammy winner Sean Paul takes center stage live.
Yo, check it out. Good Morning America.
This morning, don't miss Good Morning America Summer Concert Series presented by Walgreens.
In 3,
the countdown
2
is
1
on.
Ignition.
The biggest event of the summer.
Liftoff.
An epic adventure begins.
He's not my type. What, the smart, good-looking American hero type?
Discover what life is like
Zoe!
at the edge of the universe. ABC's Defying Gravity, 2-hour series premiere, Sunday, August 2nd on ABC.
Well, the country's mortgage system came crashing down in part because unscrupulous lenders preyed on vulnerable homeowners. Millions of people have lost their homes to foreclosure.
And tens of thousands of people are still teetering on the brink. Mortgage modification scam artists have their sights set on them. Chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross has more.
The voice over the phone made it seem very official.
The nation's Housing Modification Center is located in Washington, D.C. area.
And their mailings come in a brown envelope with a Capitol Hill address on Pennsylvania Avenue. Hundreds of homeowners took the bait.
If getting somebody local there in Washington, D.C. is going to help me quicker, then that might be the way to go.
Facing foreclosure after his house painting business collapsed, Chad Nicholas of suburban Seattle sent $1,000 to the nation's Housing Modification Center.
The way they boiled it down was if I worked it out with them, then they could put a freeze on my foreclosure.
But ABC News found that the Washington, D.C. address was just a UPS store on Pennsylvania Avenue, a mail drop. The firm's actual location is across the country in this office building outside San Diego. Inside, a classic telemarketing boiler room operation where employees read from a script tailored for desperate homeowners.
Right now, your government is trying to help you stay in your home and not displace your family. Forensic accountants.
Tom Fatika took us through the routine. He was one of the telemarketers in San Diego until he says he discovered the operation was a scam.
They're convincing people to give money to them in advance, promising to do something that they're not doing.
The San Diego business is being run by 3 men with criminal records, including this man, Brian Rosenberg. He went to prison in 2003 for his role in a mortgage fraud scheme in Baltimore.
Can I ask you what's going on here?
When our San Diego affiliate showed up to ask questions, they were ordered out of the building by the company president, Mike Trapp, who also has a criminal record for lying to a federal grand jury about a huge Ponzi scheme. The company called in an industrial shredding company and gave them boxes of documents to be destroyed.
The chairman of the Federal Trade Commission offers 4 pieces of advice to avoid being scammed. If they ask for payment in advance, if they guarantee success, if they say pay them instead of your mortgage, or if they say they're from the government, hang up the phone and hang on to your wallet. Brian Ross, ABC News, New York.
All these scams as foreclosures continue to rise, up more than 15% just in the first 6 months of this year.
And of course, even employment continues to go up.
That's right. Well, still ahead, it's one of the most recognizable stores in the world. There seems to be a Starbucks on every corner.
When morning comes in the middle of the night, it affects your entire day. To get a good night's sleep, try 2-layer Ambient CR. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep. And unlike other sleep aids, a second dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. When taking Ambient CR, don't drive or operate machinery. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with memory loss for the event, as well as abnormal behaviors such as being more outgoing or aggressive than normal, confusion, agitation, and hallucinations may occur. Don't take it with alcohol as it may increase these behaviors. Allergic reactions such as shortness of breath, swelling of your tongue or throat may occur and in rare cases may be fatal. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. In patients with depression, worsening of depression including risk of suicide may occur. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Wake up ready for your day. Ask your healthcare provider for 2-layer Ambient CR.
Get 20% more cash for your broken, unwanted, or mismatched gold jewelry. Cash for Gold, the largest volume consumer gold buyer in the USA, is on an extended buying spree. Prices are still at all-time highs, and we still can't keep up with demand. So we've raised our goal $100 million and extended our deadline. Now we're out to buy $200 million in gold by the end of summer, September 30th. Send us any unwanted, broken, or mismatched gold jewelry right now. Call for a free prepaid envelope. Fill it with the items you want to sell, send it to our secure processing center, and get ready to count your cash. And to meet our new $200 million goal, we've increased our cash payout by 20%. Cash for Gold owns its own refinery. There's no middleman, just more cash for you. And now we're paying even 20% more cash. Call before the gold rush ends September 30th.
Call 1-800-930-7804 or visit cash4gold.com.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Well, finally, this half hour in Seattle this morning, it is finally here. Starbucks opens up its first un-Starbucks with a new look and an expanded menu.
Starbucks has covered the globe with its recognizable look and menu. If this shop succeeds, could we someday see un-Starbucks on every corner too? Neil Karlinski with a preview.
This store right here, the first of its kind, is a Starbucks that isn't called Starbucks. No sign of that famous green logo, no expensive coffee cups to buy. It is, they say, a neighborhood store called 15th Avenue Coffee and Tea.
This is Starbucks? Why don't you call it Starbucks?
This is absolutely Starbucks. It's just one more iteration of innovative design.
Arthur Rubenfeld is Starbucks president of global development, and he is insistent the company isn't trying to trick anyone.
Well,
are you trying to
that's
trick
just
people?
Not true. We don't feel the need to provide that naming on every storefront going forward.
Grande, light, coffee, frappuccino, blended coffee for Gordon.
The coffee business is tough. Starbucks grew itself to a point it seemed there was a store on every corner. So McDonald's decided to be like Starbucks with its own fancy coffee drinks. Starbucks started acting like McDonald's with hot breakfast sandwiches. Dunkin' Donuts even got in on the coffee game. Then Starbucks tried value meals, even instant coffee. But today's reinvention, the un-Starbucks Starbucks, is facing some skepticism.
Seems like a bait and switch to me. A little bit of a silly idea. I think people are going to know.
The new shop is supposed to be more like the original homegrown coffee house. For the first time, you can get more than a caffeine buzz. Beer and wine are on the menu. They hope to have coffee tastings and poetry readings inside, along with an independent look and feel, a lot like some of Seattle's other boutique coffee houses. Seattle Coffee Works' Sebastian Simsch says Starbucks observers scoured his shop looking for ideas.
And they had these binders, big binders. I think they said observation on it, so I wasn't amused.
I mean, people from design and other parts of the company are in stores all over the world.
If the new coffee house is a success, Starbucks has plans for more, possibly many more. I'm Neil Karlinski in Seattle.
I wish that they were doing something like Irish coffee, like what I drink.
Maybe they'll start that, and that'll
Just
keep
kidding.
me up all night.
That's the news for this half hour.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's happening all over. People are turning to a unique wireless company, one that limits your cost without limiting you. Cricket respects you and your wallet like nobody else with $35 a month unlimited talk, text, and U.S. long distance. There are no contracts to sign or overages on America's most affordable 3G network. Just call 1-800-353-6658. Click mycricket.com or come into a Cricket store today and get all this for just $35 a month. Isn't it time you and your wallet got a little... Come in today for a new web-capable phone starting at $49.99. Just call, click, or stop by. Get respect for your wallet. Get respect for your wallet. Respect for you.
Like getting a discount? You're gonna love Mattress Discounters. The difference is the discount. And right now, the discount is half price. It's the final days of our half off sale. And select Sealy and Sealy Posturepedic mattress sets are half off our already discounted price. This Sealy Posturepedic Queen set normally sells for $13.99. Right now, it's half off, just $6.99. At Mattress Discounters, the difference is the discount. Hurry, this sale ends soon.
Mattress Discounters.
Power and accuracy. Only ABC2 forecasts deliver both.
We have Maryland's most powerful radar.
ABC2 keeps you safer.
Certified Baltimore's most accurate forecast.
Only ABC2 guarantees it.
Forecast on your set, net, and cell.
ABC2 and ABC2News.com from Baltimore's most accurate forecast team.
Good morning. From WMAR TV ABC2 in Baltimore, Maryland's pioneer television station since 1947.
Race relations in America back in the spotlight after President Obama weighs in on the arrest of a black Harvard scholar.
The Cambridge police acted stupidly.
This morning, the arresting officer's response.
Then, raw deal. California's budget deficit and its impact on programs for children and the poor. And Pitcher Perfect, the unbelievable catch of a lifetime that saved the perfect game. It's Friday, July 24th.
From ABC News, this is World News Now.
Going to see those highlights over and over again today from that baseball game.
Only the 18th time in history it's happened, so I guess it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephanie Side. Jeremy is off today.
And I'm Vanita Nair. The two sides seem to be clearly drawn surrounding the arrest of Harvard scholar Henry Louis Gates. President Obama stands by words which touch off the controversy.
And the police officer who made the arrest says Mr. Obama was way off base for wading into an issue without knowing the facts. Viviana Hurtado has both sides. Good morning, Viviana.
Good morning, Vanita and Stephanie. The president's comments on the arrest of an African-American professor by a white police officer have overshadowed the struggle for health care reform and put the spotlight back on race relations.
The racial divide seemed to deepen with the president at the center.
I agree with the president saying that the cops did act stupidly.
In an exclusive interview with ABC's Nightline, Mr. Obama stood by his statement. He was referring to the arrest for disorderly conduct of Harvard professor Henry Louis Gates Jr. when he was trying to get into his home.
From what I can tell, the sergeant who was involved is an outstanding. From what I can tell, the sergeant who was involved is an outstanding police officer, but my suspicion is probably that it would have been better if cooler heads had prevailed.
Professor Gates, seen here on CNN, is demanding an apology from the white police officer.
This man clearly was a rogue policeman.
Sergeant James Crowley said the professor and president were out of line. As far as saying, "I'm sorry,"
there will be no apology. Is this now and ever no apology? Yes.
Sergeant Crowley is a career cop who was picked by a black police officer to teach a racial sensitivity class at the academy. His fellow officers and chief defended him.
I do not believe his actions in any way were racially motivated.
But the head of the National Association of Black Law Enforcement Officers said both the president and scholar make an important point.
The institution of policing is and always has been inherently biased against people of color and low income. and you must accept that as a fact.
Professor Gates' arrest hit a nerve. Sociologists say it reveals that the country is long overdue for a dialogue on race relations. Vanita and Stephanie.
The president takes a break from health care reform today to focus on education reform instead. He is announcing a new multi-billion-dollar education initiative to reward states for overhauling their school systems. The changes include linking teacher pay to student performance and no limits on the number of charter schools. Later today on Good Morning America, our exclusive interview with the Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan.
California lawmakers are working into the wee hours this morning, putting the finishing touches on billions of dollars in budget cuts. The effort to slash a huge and dangerous deficit spares no one, not even children. Here's Mike Von Fremt.
We talked about.
In an internet video, Arnold Schwarzenegger waves a knife across the governor's desk, celebrating the cuts to the budget. He may be the only Californian pleased.
We've accomplished a lot in this budget, and I want to thank the legislative leaders for hanging in there and negotiating all these weeks, and especially the last few hours. It was like a suspense movie.
Or a Hollywood horror show with $15 billion in spending cuts.
These schools are getting cut, and some of those schools mean a lot to us.
Public education will be hit the hardest. The California State University system will have to cut enrollment by 40,000 students.
You have these sick children. What are they supposed to do?
An estimated 300,000 uninsured children will have their access to health care cut. And 230,000 of the state's employees will be told, don't come to work 3 days a month because you won't be getting paid. While the state's counties and cities are outraged, $4 billion they need to fix their own problems is being taken to pay the state's bills.
Their credit card has hit its limit. So their credit card has hit its limit. So now they're using our credit card.
Californians have long made it clear they do not want to raise taxes no matter what. But economists warn the state will not be able to cut enough to pay the bills going forward. So the governor is looking for any way he can to raise a few dollars, including selling off state-owned cars. Ones with Arnold's signature cost a little extra. But remember, it's for a good charity, the Golden State. Mike Von Fremt, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Meanwhile, in the state that is home to the fictional Tony Soprano, an unprecedented corruption crackdown. FBI raids in New Jersey rounded up more than 40 public officials, including several mayors and state lawmakers accused of being on the take. Even rabbis are all suspected of using Jewish charities to launder tens of millions of dollars.
The politicians willingly put themselves up for sale. Hundreds of thousands in bribes were paid.
New Jersey's corruption problem is one of the worst, if not the worst, in the nation.
Officials say a single witness turned informant helped nail the suspects by working undercover to arrange bribes. The investigation even turned up one man who offered a human kidney for cash.
4 people have been killed after a helicopter crashed into the lanes of Interstate 70 in western Maryland. The crash happened late last night near the town of Smithsburg. The highway has been closed in both directions. All of the victims were apparently aboard the helicopter, which had just taken off from a nearby airport.
In a Kentucky courtroom, a routine hearing turned to chaos when an angry suspect wearing handcuffs and shackles jumped from his seat and lunged at prosecutors, knocking over a courtroom table. The suspect was eventually tasered by sheriff's deputies. He wasn't seriously injured. And it all happened as his lawyer was explaining that his client had a history of bad courtroom behavior. Well timed then.
Startling video. Well, here's a look at your weather now. Heavy rain in northern New England, scattered showers and thunderstorms for the rest of the Northeast. Much of the same in the Southeast, Gulf Coast and the Rockies. Heavy downpours in southern Texas, late day hail and gusty winds from Wisconsin to Nebraska.
A high of 93 in Omaha, but the middle of the country is mostly in the 80s. Phoenix hits 104, Sacramento 90, and Salt Lake City 93. Baltimore climbs to 84 and Atlanta is 89.
All right, Vanita, so you're going to be a bride soon. As you know, most brides and grooms save their first dance for their reception, but one Minnesota couple just couldn't wait.
I hope it goes down like this at my wedding.
This
is what you call a bridal party instead of the traditional walk down the aisle. Jill and Kevin Hines' wedding looked, well, more like the Soul Train line. The bridesmen and groomsmen showed off their best moves before the happy couple joined in.
The groom said their children will definitely have rhythm. I'm not so sure. By last night, hundreds of thousands of people had checked out the video on YouTube.
It is a nice wedding, and we'll be right back with more World News Now.
World News Now weather brought to you by Peachtree Settlement Funding.
Do you have a structured settlement or an annuity but find yourself waiting for checks every month? Stop waiting and call Peachtree Settlement Funding today. We'll turn your future payments into cash so you can pay off your credit card debt, make important purchases, avoid foreclosure. After all, life doesn't wait. Why should you?
To find out how, call Peachtree today at 1-800-581-0733.
Through the years, many things pass from father to son, like Aqua Velva Aftershave. Smells great, cools, firms, and tones. Cool. Aqua Velva, men get it.
Attention, all Medicare beneficiaries who need assistance getting around their homes. There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you. Stay tuned for this important Medicare benefit information and free scooter guarantee. Imagine one scooter or power chair that could improve your mobility and your life. One Medicare benefit that, with private insurance, may entitle you to pay little to nothing to own it. One company that can make it all happen.
Great news. Your power chair will be paid in full.
The Scooter Store. Why should you call the Scooter Store today? Because their mobility experts are also Medicare experts. And that means the Scooter Store is your best shot at qualifying for a scooter that costs you little to nothing.
Hi, I'm Dan Weston. At the Scooter Store, more than 91% of our Medicare customers pay little to nothing out of pocket. How do we do it? We know what it takes to get you your scooter or power chair. It's our strength, it's our mission, and we back it up with this free scooter guarantee. If we pre-qualify you for Medicare reimbursement and Medicare denies your claim, we'll give you your new power chair or scooter absolutely free.
I paid into Medicare all my life, and when I needed it, the benefit was there for me. The Scooter Store made it so easy.
I didn't pay a penny out of pocket for my power chair. Medicare and my insurance covered it all.
The Scooter Store got me back out into the world again, and they're some of the nicest people you'll ever talk to.
There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you.
Call the Scooter Store for free information today.
Improve your mobility and your life. Call 1-800-495-4125 for your free, no-obligation information from the Scooter Store. Find out if you pre-qualify for Medicare and insurance payment on a brand-new power chair or scooter. That number again is 1-800-495-4125.
It can happen anywhere. That itch you can't scratch, embarrassing odor, you don't feel like yourself.
Vagisil medicated wipes relieves itch, odor, even cleanses. Fast. Be the woman you want to be 100% of the time. Vagisil.
Tonight, Charlie Gibson investigates what we're all addicted to. The truth about oil at 10.
President Obama is fighting for health care reform like he fought for the presidency. He is campaigning hard, and yesterday he was in Ohio.
Nightline's Terry Moran spent the day with the president and talked with him about a wide range of subjects.
Hey, Mr. President, how are you?
We caught up with the president backstage at a town meeting held at Shaker Heights High School. And if you thought the grinding, high-stakes health care debate was getting to him, well, it doesn't look like it.
You're really betting the presidency on this thing.
No,
you don't think so?
No, I think that's how you guys like to dramatize these issues so that the stories get on TV. But what I do think is that the country has to reform its healthcare system, or else not only are you going to continue to have people really going through a hard time, but we're also going to see a continuing escalation of our budget problems that can't get under control.
But you don't think that there's some grain of truth in what Senator Mintz said, which is that this is really your Waterloo. You've got to win it here.
No. I think America has to win it here.
But America, or talk, radio, cable, TV, water cooler America, seemed distracted. A fresh controversy was on the boil.
I agree with the president saying that the cops did act stupidly.
Everyone, it seemed, was talking about the arrest in Cambridge, Massachusetts of the eminent scholar Henry Louis Gates at his own home. He'd locked himself out, and police were called when he was observed trying to get inside the front door. At his press conference, President Obama, a friend of Gates, spoke out.
I don't know, not having been there and not seeing all the facts, what role race played in that. But I think it's fair to say, number one, any of us would be pretty angry. Number two, that the Cambridge police acted stupidly in arresting somebody when there was already proof that they were in their own home. And number three, what I think we know separate and apart from this incident is that there is a long history in this country of African Americans and Latinos being stopped by law enforcement disproportionately. And that's just a fact.
I had to ask him about all this, and he was eager to respond.
And you were tough on the Cambridge Police Department. Do you regret saying that the Cambridge police acted stupidly?
You know, I have to say I'm surprised by the controversy surrounding my statement because I think it was. I'm surprised by the controversy surrounding my statement because I think it was a pretty straightforward commentary that you probably don't need to handcuff a guy, a middle-aged man who uses a cane, who's in his own home. Now, what I do know is, as I said last night, I don't know all the details to the case. I think that I have extraordinary respect for the difficulties of the jobs that police officers do. As I said, them responding was exactly the right thing to do. And my suspicion is that words were exchanged between the police officer and Mr. Gates, and that everybody should have just settled down and cooler heads should have prevailed. That's my suspicion. But I was asked, did it make sense for it to escalate to the levels that it did? And I said, probably not. And that it would have been more sensible for everybody to just, once it was established that Mr. Gates was in his own home, that we should just settle this thing down. So,
you still think the Cambridge police acted stupidly?
Well, Terry, I think this is a classic example at a time when we're struggling about health care, energy. We've got two wars going on, that issues like this get elevated in ways that probably don't make much sense. I think that it doesn't make sense, with all the problems that we have out there, to arrest a guy in his own home if he's not causing a serious disturbance. Now, I don't know all the extenuating circumstances, and as I said, I respect what police officers do. What I can tell, from what I can tell, the sergeant who was involved is an outstanding police officer. But my suspicion is probably that it would have been better if cooler heads had prevailed.
In our interview, we talked about how the pace of reform is slowing down in Congress.
Given the progress that I'm seeing made, as long as everybody is working steadily, as fast as they can, and particularly the Senate Finance Committee, which I think is the committee that a lot of folks are waiting for. If that gets done before the August recess, I feel pretty good.
How have the responsibilities of the presidency affected your spiritual life, if at all?
Well, I had a habit of praying every night before I go to bed. I pray all the time now because I've got a lot of stuff on my plate, and I need guidance all the time.
Terry Moran, ABC News, with the president in Shaker Heights, Ohio.
They certainly did cover really a wide range of topics.
Yeah, they did. Terry got some really interesting answers from the president, for example, on Afghanistan, when he asked how he would define victory in Afghanistan. Such a huge contrast to President Bush, who talked about mission accomplished in Iraq. President Obama said he's not about using the word victory. He wants to make sure that al-Qaeda and the Taliban can't attack the U.S. anymore, and victory is not necessarily the overall goal there.
So many people right now asking the president, could health care possibly break you? And he's saying, I'm from Chicago. Nothing's going to break me. And, of course, promising right now it won't add to the deficit, which is what everyone's hoping for.
Oh, I don't know. We're going to see that. That debate is going to be long in coming. We'll be right back.
Skinny coming up.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
This week at Chauffeur's Furniture, the price on the floor is the price at your door. Come in and save up to 50% on fabulous name brand furniture. Then whatever furniture and accessories you buy, Chauffeur's will give you a discount that's equal to your sales tax and won't charge for delivery. Plus, you'll pay no interest for 1 full year. Come to Chauffeur's and save up to 50% with no sales tax and no charge for delivery. Chauffeur's Furniture. If you can dream it, we can make it happen.
The sun used to make our outdoor deck and patio space so hot and uncomfortable we couldn't use it.
But then we discovered the Sunsetter retractable awning.
It provides instant protection from the sun's harmful rays.
It keeps our patio about 20 degrees cooler.
But now you can get your Sunsetter for as little as $499 when you call now to get this $200 discount certificate and free awning idea kit.
Call now for your free awning idea kit and $200 discount certificate.
1-800-486-2293.
Well, here's a name I don't think we've ever said in the Skinny before, and it's Ben Roethlisberger. And his name is in the headlines quite a bit right now. You may have already heard about this story. A woman is stepping forward right now, a 31-year-old Nevada woman who says that she was raped by the Super Bowl winning quarterback in a hotel penthouse last year, and now he is sort of firing back. Take a listen.
I did not sexually assault Andrew McNulty. Saturday was the first that I learned of her accusations. Her false and vicious allegations are an attack on my family and on me. I would never, ever force myself on a woman.
It's important to say there's no criminal investigation that she filed after the supposed
no criminal
incident.
investigation. And right now, law enforcement are saying they don't intend to open a criminal investigation. And Roethlisberger is saying that this past Saturday is the first he heard about all of this. So these stories are always just hard to report because you don't know what to believe, and I'm sure we'll learn a lot more as things move forward. But this next story is a little bit of a lighter note because Khalees had a baby.
Yes.
What a great thing to do. And then the day after the baby, she finds out that her ex-husband, Nas, you can see him right there, is going to be responsible for paying her $44,000 a month in spousal and child support. And not only that, he also is willing to pay for the $45,000 in legal and accounting fees. So, you know, it's sad that they went through a divorce, but she is certainly not going to have to worry about money.
Congratulations to her on that. All right, let's go to our heartthrob of the morning, Jude Law, who I never mind seeing a photo of. Well, apparently he was coming out of a London bar, and accidentally his hand made contact with the top of the head of a female photographer, a member of the paparazzi. She's saying that it was somehow intentional. He's saying it was an accident. Who knows? You know, the paparazzi, they get all in there, and it's hard not to sort of juggle them around. I'm on his side on this one.
It's kind of hard to see. Okay, it took me a second. I guess that's the black coat is him reaching up and hitting her on the top. So is she filing any complaints? Is she saying?
You know, I think she's just right now, she's just saying he did this. She probably wants an apology of some sort, and his people are saying this was an accident. But we have time for, I always love to see Britney Spears in the Skinny because it's been so long since I've been on the show. And every time I used to be on the show, it was always Paris Hilton and Britney Spears. And Britney Spears, you remember when she was in the MTV, I think, Music Awards in 2007, she gave that sort of sloppy stage performance. Well, now she's back because look, she looks hot and she looks skinny in this new Candy's shoe commercial. So there's Britney hawking some shoes and looking pretty good.
I kind of want to hear what she's singing. Is this a new song that we're hearing?
This is her hits. What is it? It's called Radar. It's one of her new songs.
You know, Candy's has really reached out to an interesting demographic, too, because they also have Jessica Simpson's little sister as a spokesperson, and I think Carrie Underwood. So maybe these, you know, singers, stars
Young,
are working
hot
for them.
starlets.
But she does look great. I'm always happy when it's a good Britney story.
Yeah, she's really turned herself around.
Yes. All right, more news coming up.
Here's some health information for people over 50. Maybe you don't think you're at risk for heart attack or stroke, but if you've been diagnosed with PAD or have pain or heaviness in your legs, I want to talk to you. You may have heard of poor leg circulation, which could be peripheral artery disease or PAD. With PAD, if you have poor circulation in your legs, you may also have poor circulation in your heart and in your brain. And that can more than double your risk for heart attack or stroke. Now ask yourself, am I at risk? If you're not sure, call for this free information kit to learn more.
Call 1-888-300-5422 to find out what the risks of PAD really are. You'll find a 7-point checklist that helps you understand what could be putting you at risk. If you have putting you at risk. If you have symptoms, you'll learn how treating symptoms is different from reducing your risk. You'll also learn about lifestyle changes and treatment options that can help reduce your risk for heart attack or stroke. There's even a doctor discussion guide for you to bring to your doctor that can help you discuss PAD together. Call 1-888-300-5422 for your free information kit today.
The risk is real. Take the first step. Call today.
Through the years, many things pass from father to son, like Aquavelva Aftershave. Smells great, cools, firms, and tones. Cool. Aquavelva, men get it.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
When the itch disappears, when the burning is soothed, when you feel relieved with Vagisil, you can come back to your life. Vagisil, bring yourself back.
Here are some stories to watch today on ABC News. President Obama announces a new $4 billion education program. States will be able to compete for the money by proving they are reforming schools. The government's Cash for Clunkers program kicks off today. Drivers can get rebates for trading in old cars for newer, more efficient ones. The program runs until November 1st. And Shuttle Endeavour astronauts take their 4th spacewalk today. A problem with a spacesuit cut short their last walk on Wednesday.
Good morning. Finally, this half-hour baseball history has been made in Chicago in front of a hometown crowd. White Sox pitcher Mark Buehrle pitched a perfect game yesterday.
And, of course, that made the White Sox fan-in-chief very proud.
I told him that he had to buy a big steak dinner for that center fielder, Weiss, because he saved that perfect game. That was exciting. Somebody just asked me, what's more exciting? That or the Dow going over 9,000. And I said, I promise you a perfect game. Now, that's big.
Mark Buehrle is already included in baseball's record books. 2 years ago, he pitched a no-hitter. ABC's Tamon Bradley has the story.
White Sox hurler Mark Buehrle faced 27 batters. He retired every one of them in order. A perfect game. The lefty made things look easy as he recorded out after out. 6 outs were strikeouts. Buehrle was cruising until the final inning when a blast off the bat of Tampa Bay Rays center fielder Gabe Kapler almost ruined the show. But Sox center fielder Dwayne Wise came to the rescue.
What a play! Dwayne Wise makes the catch! What a play by Wise! Mercy!
Do you owe Dwayne steak dinner or something for that one?
I think I owe him a little bit more than that. I bought the guys watches, everybody on the team last time, so that was an expensive no-hitter, and this one will probably be a lot more expensive.
The last time Buehrle's talking about was in 2007 when he pitched a no-hitter against the Texas Rangers. After the game, Burley was beaming about both great performances.
I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I said I'd never throw a no-hitter, never thought I'd throw a perfect game, never thought I'd hit a home run. I mean, so I've said never say never in this game because crazy stuff can happen.
Burley was pulled away from the post-game interviews to take a call from the Sox most famous fan, President Obama.
I spoke to Burley on the phone on the Air Force One. That's one of the privileges of presidency.
Perfect games are the rarest of rare in sports. This is only the 18th one in history. Tamon Bradley, ABC News, New York.
ABC2 News on your iPhone. Available at the iTunes App Store now. Be the first to know. Forecasts, video clips, breaking news with just a touch. Download the ABC2 News app for free. Search WMAR only on iTunes.
Click weather on abc2news.com.
Maryland's most powerful radar.
Baltimore's most accurate forecast.
Customize your forecast. Use the interactive radar. Most powerful, most accurate, guaranteed. abc2news.com. See what works for you.
If you're looking to save money, buy at Antwerpen Hyundai, where Jack always says yes.
Everyone loves the taste of a delicious homegrown garden tomato, but planting a garden and trying to take care of it is backbreaking work. Introducing the revolutionary Topsy-Turvy. It grows your tomato plants upside down. Just place your tomato plant into the planter, add potting soil, then hang in water. It hangs conveniently on any size porch, deck, patio, conch deck, patio, condo, or apartment balcony. Now you can enjoy delicious homegrown tomatoes in sandwiches, salads, and sauces all season long. With the Topsy-Turvy tomato planter for only $19.99. You'll also receive our 4 Seasons recipe guide and our handy kitchen slicer for perfectly even slices every time. But call right now and we'll double the offer. Just pay processing and handling. You get 2 Topsy-Turvy planters, 2 recipe guides, and 2 slicers, all for only $19.99. But you have to call now.
To order your Topsy-Turvy tomato planter for $19.99 plus additional processing and handling, call 1-800-330-0506. That's 1-800-330-0506.
If you owe over $15,000 in taxes, call American Tax Relief.
We owe the IRS $24,000, but we only paid $2,000.
We owe the IRS $200,000. But we only paid $40,000.
Call now for a free, no-obligation consultation and reduce your tax debt.